What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We've been doing a lot of topical videos and kind of showing you some specifics, but I figured it's been a while since we've done a little bit of a room update and some animal updates and things like that. And I've got a show coming up in Las Vegas next week, so let's look at how some of the animals are doing here, and give you guys just a quick rundown on everything that's been happening since breeding season has come to an end. So, I mean, I say breeding season has come to an end, but, you know, I think these guys missed the memo. My Stropherus group up there, the Tinnicata, they are actually still laying eggs. And my baby bins are all empty. They have all found homes. So far, 100% success finding homes for all those geckos this year, which is great. And we've got 7 eggs incubating still. So we're still popping out geckos, but snake breeding is done. No more eggs. And we're actually going to be probably sitting down and putting pen to paper and planning for next season. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably be talking about what I have planned for next season in an upcoming video. But for today, I figured I'd give you guys a little bit of an update since I've been posting a lot on social media, updating my website. A lot of babies are multiple sheds in and getting ready to find some new homes. And some of those would be these beautiful Papuan carpets from the Redman sired WP male. So Redman's father is WP. We paired him with a female named Autumn, who I've paired them before, and they produced some really nice dark babies, but this year they produced some really high contrast animals that should have a lot of color as they age, like this girl here, and a lot of females, in fact. And they're eating machines. There are several sheds in. They're growing very well, and they are almost ready for hopper mice and their new homes. So like I said, I do have the Central Valley Reptile and Pet Expo coming up in Las Vegas. I knew that was coming. It's warm, and I'm, you know, a nice warm target right in her face. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I swear she's really friendly. But Las Vegas, I'm going to be bringing a bunch of these with me. They are coming, as well as the albino citrus tigers and a lot of those hets, as far as the babies for the year, because that's pretty much what I have ready. Quite a few people have been asking about albino Darwins. I do have a few females that are unspoken for. My Patreon crew grabbed a good chunk of them, and obviously this was a last of a joint pairing sort of a deal, so half of the clutch is going to the rightful owner, Nick, and the other half will be mine. I'm keeping a female, and then, like I said, my patrons have first crack at these as always. And yeah, basically I've only got a couple females like this girl who will be available. Now, they're not on my website yet because, quite frankly, pretty sure this girl's in shed. The other girl that is going to be available is in shed. I don't have any males available. And then there's 1 or 2 other females that will be available that are just catching up on the food deal. So eventually some pure albino Darwins will make their way on the website. And I think they are going to come to Las Vegas with me. So if you're watching this and you're planning on coming to the Vegas show and you've been looking for a pure albino Darwin female, I'm your guy. If you're watching this and you don't want me to bring them and you don't want to miss out on one, message me and we can do some business. But yeah, beautiful albino Darwins that should be ready to rock and roll. Plenty of citrus tigers, a few albinos, some caramels, some hets. So I'll have some nice variety there as well. This is one of the available female albino citrus tigers who showing some really nice color. These things are way better in person. You're just gonna have to take my word for it. So if you're coming out to Vegas, I'll have some of these out on the display table so you can check those out as well. Okay, so this rack here is unfortunately some overflow. It is supposed to be a colubered rack, but because I have so many babies, I had to move some pythons in here for the time being. I've got a couple Papuans that'll be coming. This is all jungle stuff right here that's not quite ready, and some of it's Partho, some of it's spoken for, some of it's not going anywhere. And then the rest are the Brettles clutch, and they will be getting their very first food offering when I get back from Las Vegas, because my process for starting babies, whether it's Brettles, Jungles, Pop Ones, whatever, is once they hatch, they have 2 weeks to shed or so, and then I wait an additional 3 to 4 weeks or so to let them digest all that yolk and everything that they hatched out with, to let them get a little bit hungry. Because when I first started breeding carpet pythons, the very first year, I offered food right after shed. They're not hungry. Second week, not hungry. Third week, a few of them took. Fourth week, we were off and running. And after a couple of years of noticing that trend, it's become very apparent to me that they don't really get hungry until about week 3 or 4 after their first shed. Now, there's always those stragglers that maybe take a while to have their first shed. In fact, this girl right here took a while to have her first shed and actually ate once or twice before her first shed. And sometimes you just go with what the rest of the clutch is doing, and 1 or 2 of those stragglers that are doing their own thing, they'll catch up and get with the program, generally speaking. So that was kind of the approach there. And yeah, so those won't be making it to Vegas, but they'll likely be ready come November for the Scottsdale show, and of course online. The other thing that we have planned for Las Vegas besides animals is we've got these awesome sort of handmade drink tumblers that we're making. My wife has gotten really into it, and she's even making like custom wine glasses. We've got different colors, holographics. We're even going to do pint glasses, a bunch of stuff. Unfortunately, they're already getting packed up over here. So we're starting to put together a box of different custom handmade glassware. Now, these emblems on here, we are putting them on by hand, but they are permanent as long as you don't machine wash them. Hand wash them, should be good. So yeah, those will be coming to Vegas, and if they're a hit, then they'll come to Del Mar and Scottsdale and wherever else. I've already got beer mugs for sale on the website, but these are different. These are handmade, and we're doing these custom for shows. So let me know in the comments if you like that idea. If you're planning on attending one of those shows and you want to grab one, let me know, because we're gonna have some fun stuff. What's an update video without talking about the Apodora? Fluffy over here just had a recent shed. Oracle is down here. She's honestly looking really good. Probably not too far off from a shed, but the pigs have been filling her up real nicely. They haven't been cruising and ripping down the lights lately, which is good. So I think those pigs from Jeff over at El Segundo Pythons has been a godsend. They really like them. They're doing really well. They're not too big on the heat right now. It is pretty warm, but I've kind of just been feeding them well, the ladies here have been getting fed every 2 weeks recently, and they're going to start getting a little bit more as we're getting into the winter. Obviously, we didn't get any production out of them this past season, but we're going to keep trying. So hopefully that goes well. The big male that I have, he's in shed right now. He's doing really well. And my younger male, the little guy who I got from Dan Malari, who could fit in the palm of my hand when I got him, that dude's been taking extra large and 2X rats for a while and is putting on some serious size. So he might actually be safely sized to get into the running for breeding next season, in hopes that maybe, you know, the 2 male factor will be the difference. So fingers crossed. So we talked a lot about the Las Vegas show coming up. Be doing that. We're going to be doing the Del Mar show 2 weeks after. And then there'll be about 4 or 5 weeks until we go over to Scottsdale for a show. But figured, aside from updates on babies and what's going on with available animals and shows, give you guys a little bit of a life update on what's going on with me. As many of you know, I lost my job a little over a month ago. And although I have been applying to lots of jobs and looking around and trying to network and get into anything, at the same time, I'm mentally also accepting that finding jobs these days is difficult and takes a long time. And I'd be kidding myself if I wasn't thinking about just doing this full time. And technically I am. But what I'm thinking about doing is actually next year scaling it up, really growing things 3 or 4 times and making some moves to literally do this full time, do more shows, increase the online presence, so on and so forth. Been pleasantly encouraged over the last month. Sales are picking up. People have been giving me work to help me out, which has been immense. Speaking of which, this beautiful albino white-sided bull snake boy here, who's a late December hatch from last year. This was produced by my good friend Glenn Brooks, and he's been very gracious to have me come over and help clean his snakes, as well as he floated me a bunch of snakes to try and sell on Palm Street, because he too needs some help moving some animals, because he's got a lot more than I do. And we've been trying out Palm Street. It's been a lot of fun. It's been another avenue to move some of these animals and bring in some income and connect with a new audience. And it's actually been a lot of fun, making some new friends, introducing people to some new snakes, and having a lot of fun. That being said, I'm not sure it's quite ready for carpet python, so I'll still be doing my website and morph market and shows and blasting all on social media. But yeah, I'm really kind of in this onwards and upwards trajectory. Initially, I was dealing with some anxiety and stress about it all, and I know my wife definitely is currently still. But I don't know. I'm pretty excited about the future. I thought this level of uncertainty would probably break me and give me an anxiety attack, but what I'm learning is when it's something you love, you naturally will work much harder without realizing it to make it happen, and you'll enjoy it. So right now, just trying to be as productive as possible. What's really odd is some days I find myself feeling busier than I was when I had a job. I'm not sure what that's about. I'm not complaining. I'd rather be busy than bored. And I am finding homes for snakes. I am looking at, good revenue through shows and things like that, and be able to keep the roof over my head, keep my lights on, keep food in the fridge, and keep the wife happy. But I'd be lying to y'all if it wasn't a little bit stressful. So I wanted to make this an update about snakes, what's going on and what's going on here, because quite frankly, this is now my life. That always was my life, but now it's like fully my life. Who knows what that will bring, if that means more videos at random intervals or what. When the inspiration strikes, I run with it. But for now, just been photographing animals, getting them fed and shed and ready for new homes. A lot of poplin carpets. Going to be keeping and sleeping on those red man babies that I'm not really showing publicly too much of, because every time I show them off, people try to fight me for them and want them, and I just don't like disappointing people and telling them no. So, but yeah, should have a few zebras, some albino Darwins. Those will be added to the website in the very near future, unless they get grabbed up at a show before then. I won't be bringing any jungles to the Vegas show. They're just not quite ready. Possibly by Del Mar, and definitely by Scottsdale some will be ready, unless they are snatched up before then. Didn't produce a lot of jungles this season, so. But that being said, got plenty of corn snakes, one bull snake, Colombian rainbow boas, some fun stuff from Glenn. We're gonna keep trying to do stuff on Palm Street, keep just cross-pollinating wherever, just doing as much as possible, doing the most, having fun. So I appreciate everyone who's been purchasing on Palm Street and directly from me or Morph Market. Everybody who's been supporting and helping this grow means a lot to me, so thank you very much. And yeah, hopefully I can report back after the Las Vegas show with some good news. The video might end up coming out a little bit later, because I'll be coming back Monday before my videos drop, and I wing it. I don't really film a lot in advance. Lately, like I said, I've been too busy. I haven't really had time to film. I've just been spending time with my wife and cleaning snakes. So, yeah, not bad at all. So with that, see you guys. Hope you all enjoyed that citrus tiger video last week. That was a lot of fun for me to make. That project is near and dear to my heart. There are some people who are finding that project out and liking what they're seeing. So hopefully more people dip their toes into that sandbox. It's a lot of fun. If you're interested in any of the fun colubrids and things I've got for Palm Street sales, let me know, or come join the Palm Street Fund. And then I post the majority of the snakes I have available on Morph Market. But if you really want to see what's available, go to my website. That's where everything's at. So on that note, give my sponsor some love, Reptile Husbandry Designs. If you want any 3D printed reptile enrichment, husbandry, perches, hides, water bowl holders, you name it, Chris over at Reptile Husbandry Designs is the man. He'll get you squared away. Use code RR10 to save you 10% off at checkout. If you're doing any shipping this year, give my good folks over at Reptiles Express a holler. They're going to save you some money. The more labels you purchase with them, the better your discount gets over time. And I'm going to start you off saving money with discount code Riley50 to save you 50% off up to 10 labels per customer. They'll get you the labels, all the shipping supplies, climate control supplies you need. So again, that code is Riley50, Reptiles Express. With all that money that you're going to save, if you're not buying new snakes, go get yourself a USARK and USARK Florida membership if you aren't already a member. Why does membership matter? Well, the bigger the body of support behind those two organizations, the more influence they can have at local legislative levels. They're the only group of people working to keep sort of unjust and sneaky reptile legislation off the books aimed at infringing on our abilities to work with these wonderful snakes and reptiles. So the only thing I ask is that you support them. They support us. So, and speaking of support, if you like what we've got going on here, I do have a Patreon. Ironically, became very important all of a sudden. It's now another source of income for me since I'm doing this full time. So if you want to support a local at-home breeder, if you like what we've got going on, you want early access to babies, discounts on merch, discounts on animals, early access to the inside scoop, Discord, all of that, just look me up on Patreon. Just Riley Jimison on Patreon. It's a lot of fun. We even have a fantasy football league that we've been doing. This will be the 3rd year. So it's a cool group of people. I love them. They're great. So we have a good time, good support system, wonderful community. It's growing. I'd love to see you there. All right. I hope you enjoyed the update. Appreciate you sticking through it if you're still with me here at this point. And I look forward to seeing any one of you at Vegas, Del Mar, Scottsdale, and anywhere in between. Hope life is treating you guys well. Take care. See you on the next one. Hey, if you've made it this far in the video and you're still watching and you follow my social media accounts, or you don't, I just wanted to hop in here and put an update literally right after I finished filming that video and was getting ready to update it or edit it. My wife and my older cat, he started crashing, medically crashing, and we went from fine to he was fading in 15 minutes, and then 15 minutes later we had him in the emergency room, and it's the next day and he's still there. His condition is improved. He seems to have gone through some sort of anaphylaxis. His heart rate was almost immeasurable. His blood pressure was almost immeasurable, and a whole lot of other things. The emergency vets were able to get an epinephrine shot into him, stabilize him, and he's been improving, eating and perking up, and with any luck, maybe we'll get to bring him home today. But I just wanted to hop on here. I can't put this video out without any reality being present in it, because it just doesn't feel genuine and honest to put it out and be like, here's an update and everything's great, and it's just not. It was, and now it's tough. So yeah, if you're still watching this, I could really use some prayers and support for my wife, mainly because she's probably dealing with this harder than me. But you know, we don't have kids. These cats are the closest thing to kids we have, and they're rescues, and we love them like kids. So if you could keep Jimmy in your thoughts, he's our first adopted boy. A little fun story: when we brought him home in one of those little wooden or little cardboard carrier things that they give you that's like collapsible, and they come bringing him out from the back area, and the box is just shaking around like, and they're trying to fill the paperwork out, and all of a sudden, boom, and his head explodes out of the corner of the box because he didn't want to be in that thing. And so they had to go get an actual carrier for him. But he was so excited to get out of that shelter and go home, he just exploded out of a cardboard box. And so that was my very first memory with him. And he's not even 10. So he's got a lot of life left to live. And so I could use any thoughts and prayers. And I don't ask for donations, so I'm not going to do that. So just know that it's a massive vet bill, and thank goodness I have, credit card and room on that just for these types of emergencies. So, all right. Thank you. Appreciate you guys if you've watched it this far. Thanks.